Yo, yo, yo! What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Today we're working on our window manager. I want to write one. There's not really much of a better justification than that. And today's topic is about trying to hook ourselves up to a login manager. So here's where we're at right now. You're seeing, this black square is my cursor, right? I can kind of drag the mouse around. We can't interact with any windows yet, but we do have an example of a window running this window manager. We've got the red background to show this is where we would draw the background and the taskbar and all that shit. And then this little box here is the window itself. Right, so we have something of something. So this is in a virtual machine being rendered to just, on if I stop this from running, it's literally just sitting on this root login screen of text, right? And so what we're doing right now is we are calling open dev dri GPU 0, right? Or whatever, card 0. And we're directly starting to use the GPU, which is fine in our case where we're running as root in this virtual machine, but in real computers or real machine setups, that's less likely to be the case. So on my machine, I have two users logged in right now, right? I have the streamer account, this one, and then my normal account. And I can hit Control Alt F something, and it will flip between different displays, right? So I can do that to get into something that looks a little bit more like this, and then also to flip between the window manager running as my user and the window manager running as the streamer user, right? And in that case, somebody has to say, you are allowed to render now, right? And that is some daemon running as root called systemd login. And his job is essentially to manage exclusive shared resources, right? So only one person can render to the screen at once, or else you'd be seeing half one user's drawings, half another user's drawings. So what happens is when I flip terminals, it goes, oh, streamer, shut the fuck up for a second. It's Mick's turn. And then when he goes over there, he's like, hey, you're good to go. Start rendering. And the way he does that is over this protocol dbus. So there's on the root bus, systemd login hooks up. He says, everybody who wants to use these resources, talk to me first. And so that's what we have to do, is we have to figure out how to do that. So we've been working for the past little bit on this dbus library. Where we're at right now is something that can speak dbus semi-generically. Let's take a look. So as of last stream, we kind of managed to set up kind of a generic-ish parsing interface. So say we're playing some stuff on Spotify. Spotify also talks dbus, right? So we've been using this in our test case. If I run this application right now, this, we go from paused to play, and we can also ask for where we are right now and stuff like that. So we've got some examples. I guess I want to leave this playing. We've got some examples of being able to speak dbus, but we haven't really hooked up the generic interface yet. We kind of have, the specific interfaces. We have a way to speak specific calls, right? We can call the play call with no arguments and say, hey, when you're finished, could you do something? And then on finish, we parse. Sometimes we can choose to parse the response in some way and then export that. But we don't have this. We don't have a nice interface of this, right? We don't have Spotify player dot play or Spotify player dot read position, right? We don't have that stuff yet. So we need to make some way to generate nice APIs based off of the login specification, right? So if I go to I think it's run on my software, my system is different, but it's usually user share. What is it? Software here, share, yeah. And then it's in libdbus? No. Dbus? Yeah, here. I think in here somewhere there's going to be some sort of specification for the login thing. Here. This guy. So if I cat this thing, there is some XML that is supposed to tell us all of the APIs that we can call, right? So we can call this function list sections, list users. I was hoping to see something a little bit better. I think this is wrong, actually. Hold on. Maybe it's interfaces here. Org free desktop login one manager. This looks a little bit more like what we're looking for. So there's this XML that tells us on this login manager we can call the function get session, and here we will pass in a string of the session ID and an object path of we're looking for an object path for output. Not really sure what that means yet. But we should be able to like walk this XML and generate some sort of like nice API around this thing. Once we have this, then we can try to hook it up to our window manager. But I'm suspecting, looking at this right now, that just using this thing normally, like getting like a sane API here, will actually be hard enough that that'll probably take us to the end of the stream. I'm just looking at this as like, there's no way we're gonna actually like talk reasonable to this thing. So let's kind of say that the goal for today is if we can call, we can generate something where we have like a nice get seat API or maybe a nice list session API, and we can call that and get the response. That's like a win for the day. That's a win. So yeah, the first thing we gotta do is like kind of make this like dbus thing a little bit more library. I think actually it might be a little bit nicer to do generations of binding generation first, because it might be a little bit more clear what the API is supposed to look like how to export this library as something where users of the library can generate their own bindings. It might become more clear if we do that. And then we'll try to talk dbus. Let's do that. Oh yeah. Okay. So I guess let's look. I guess the first thing we probably want to do actually is like test a login command, right? We need to make sure that we have the ability to call any of these right now. So systemd login API. I just want to make sure. Okay, so the manager object is what we are supposed to call. And so can we try calling, maybe even without our application? I just want to see if like we as a normal user are allowed to call these things. So I would love to call like get session and just see what fucking happens. Maybe get user is a little bit nicer. QDBus. So can we specify QDBus on the system bus? We should have like a login manager here somewhere. Login one here, right? So we have this guy. And we have, how are we supposed to use this thing again? QDBus help. So he should be like service name path. So I guess we are trying to talk to the root login one path. And on here, we're trying to talk to like the manager function, and we're trying to ask him like, can we call get user on this thing? Yeah, so we can. Okay. So the API docs are a little confusing. Output parameters are return values, right? So this thing is saying like I have in user ID out object path, but in reality, this is represented this way as like a return value, right? So if I call org free desktop login one manager dot get user and I'm user 1001. Oopsies. Is it like this? How did we call play before? I was just no arguments. Yeah, so he's expecting us to respond with a user 1000, 1000, 1001. I guess he is not giving us this output, which is a little bit annoying. Can we try something else that returns? Get seat. What do we call that? So env grep, I think we're seat 0. So this is just not showing anything, which is like a little bit annoying. A little bit annoying. What if we call list users just directly? He's like, say, run with literal. Okay. You say so. What the fuck? Oh, wrong spot. My bad. Literal. Oh, okay, here we go. Cool. So if we call list users or get user, if I run with literal, he will send me that stuff back. Okay, cool. Cool. So we have an example. We have proof that not using any of our code, we can talk to that thing. So let's double check that if we use our system, that we could do the same thing, right? So let's just say, let's say we want to talk to this thing. We want to call, what was it? This is our path here. We are calling this on this guy with this interface. And we're trying to call get user with a U32 of 1001, right? We're like, get me myself, please. And we want to say on user retrieved or something, right? We'll give him some callback. Give him some callback. So we're like, okay, on user retrieved, we have signature here, and we have content here, and we can like parse this response in some way, right? We're like, we expect this thing to be of type, we're expecting a dbus object path out of this thing. Looks like he wants some stuff here. We'll just copy what he did over here. Okay. Endianness. And we called this signature here. And we called this body. Okay. Okay. So can we print this as a string of like this? And this is the user object path. Like this. Okay. So hopefully we start to see something interesting. On handle type U32, so we can't parse a can't serialize a U32 yet. We haven't implemented that yet. But that's easy to fix here. Just give me a sec. Call dbus serialize here. He wants a U32 here. Right, U32. Boom. Easy peasy. Okay. This guy's mad because this thing doesn't exist right now because we kind of fucked this up. We're actually talking to the wrong bus. So we have to talk to the system bus right now, which we're not doing. And we need to talk to dbus system bus. Where does it go? Where does that go? Because we're talking to the user bus right now. Where does it live? Run. Dbus? System bus socket? Maybe. Could be. So I think we can just override this by going dbus session bus address is equal to Unix path equals run dbus system bus socket. This is my understanding right now, but yep. Okay, so we have proof that we, with our system, can talk to this guy, right? We asked for user 1001. He gave us object path of org free desktop login 1 user 1001. Wonderful. Wonderful. Okay. So I think test a login d command, that is success, right? And so now I think that what I want to do is I want to generate bindings for this thing, for this get user call, that are like a little nicer based off the XML that we have, right? So where was that? That was like over here somewhere. User share, D+1 interfaces, login one manager. So in here, we should be seeing get user here. And he is defined himself as a thing that takes in a U32 UID in and an output object. Cool. And this is a method underneath the node top level. So I think for now, let's say that we will just copy this file over here. Like this. And let's say that we need to parse this thing in some way and generate some code somewhere else, right? Those are the two steps for this thing. It's like, so let's just open it, I guess. Let's make like we'll call this, like I guess like generate zig, fuck it. Pub function, main. He is going to do something. Don't know what yet. Return error. Hello. Let's add this to the build. We'll call this generate zig, and he also will link the standard library or our standard library, and then we'll be able to use them if we want. Okay, cool. So here we are going to start by opening some file. We probably have like stud is import stud. We probably want a, some buffer to do some allocations from, almost certainly. We'll give him a couple megs. There's enough of those there's enough megs on the stack to support that. We'll be like, alloc, root alloc is this guy. He's wrapping this buffer. This should be sufficient for whatever we're doing here. And we can do like, here we need the standard library now. We should be able to be like stud process args alloc with root alloc like this. And then we can be like the path, the schema, I guess we'll call it. Schema path is args 0, 1. Args 1. We have this thing is going to be something like stud fs open current working directory open file of schema path. Yep. And then I think we're gonna try to get like a reader out of this thing, I think. With like reader buff, I guess. We can just actually just do this. Root alloc allocator alloc u8. And we'll give him like a 496 buff, I guess. And then I think it's like we have some XML parser that we have already. Parser, boom. Initialize with the IO interface for this thing. Okay. I think it's like this. Okay, and then we should just be able to start like ripping the parser. I think that we just call parser next. He wants some sort of like somewhere to put stuff. We're gonna call this discarding for well. So in between XML tags, he wants to like write out the content somewhere. I'm just gonna put that nowhere right now. Writer discarding. And so then we can kind of go like, while parser next, let's shove that shit in content writer interface, writer here. We have some like XML tag or something, item maybe. And can we just print out what we get here? This should give us kind of like a feel for the structure of this guy. What do we have? Oopsies. I didn't mean to do that. Well, I must have typed a number before. Okay. All right. Zig build and zig out bin generate, and let's look at this boy. Okay, looks like we're kind of chilling, right? So we see some amount of him walking over stuff and seeing element start and element end, right? The element M is attached, these things are attached to names. Can we say like switch on item maybe? And is item dot tag maybe? I don't remember. Type. If it is element start, we will do something like entering item name here, and if we see element end, we will exit that thing. And then else we ignore. Okay, cool. So it looks like we're chilling, right? We see him going in and out of properties. This is like a single pass. Parsers may be a strong word. What it's fine. I think he's also fucked up this like initial doc type. I think he thinks he's inside the doc type the entire time, because I think doc type is special and we don't handle that right now. Right? This like doc type thing, he doesn't use like a self-closing tag, but it is like a special type of tag. So I think we could probably just fix that real quick. I think we special case, oopsies. We special case if it starts with like XML. And I think we should be able to get away with like doc type decal here. If we go like doc type decal starts with doc type like this, then it will just end with, you know, this thing. And then I think that it should just kind of work out the whole way, the same way. Oopsies. He doesn't really ever exit doc type, which is annoying. Do we need to handle that special somewhere else as well? If prefix type is not equal to this, and prefix type is not equal to doc type decal, it seems like it's probably the same. Is this used anywhere else? Probably here as well. Probably something like this. It could also be that this is actually just a thing that's always happened. We might not leave like normal XML decals too. Okay, whatever. I'll ignore this for now. We'll ignore it. I don't think this is like critical for this. Let's just figure it out. Okay. So we want to parse this thing. We are looking for, I think it's like a path of node. Let's see. Or we're looking for node interface method. We're looking for node interface method. So I think that we're probably gonna have some sort of like dbus schema parser. I think it's easier to like use these as like, put this in some sort of like external state machine. And we can go like in here, we're gonna have some states, right? So we're gonna be like, we are maybe in node, or in interface, or in method, right? And do these guys have like state associated with them? Probably, right? I guess maybe that goes externally though. Because we kind of like, as we go down the list, we're gonna kind of be like, okay, we're in some current interface, we're in some method. And then was node just kind of like the top level thing? Yeah. There are, ooh, interesting. So there's kind of like top level nodes. And then there's also like nodes down here, which is kind of interesting. But I think we don't really care. So I think actually for now, let's ignore that node state. So we'll kind of say like we're in state default, or we're in an interface, or we're in a method, right? So we're going to step this thing with a dbus schema parser and item, which comes from stud xml item. And I guess we're like, if we are in, we're gonna like handle our states. You know, if we're in default, we're gonna be like handle default. I don't know. Interface, handle interface, method, handle method. Okay. And so if we are in default states, we are looking for we are looking for interface. Yeah. So we're gonna be like switch item type. If we see element start with item name is interface, you know, something like this. If this is this, gen binding for dbus or just login d? Well, we're done. I think eventually this is going to be a generic interface generator, but we're starting with only generating for login d. But like eventually this should work for anything that provides the same like interface file. You know what I mean? I guess it's just like self state is interface. Okay. Handle interface is gonna look very similar. What we're looking for, if we go into method now, and if we leave this thing, and we are leaving interface, we go back to default state. And we're just assuming that, you know, if we see nested interfaces, we will get fucked. So we will fall over. So I guess we should just actually just assert that there's no starts of interface either. It's kind of like this. We do not handle nested interfaces yet. I have to ask which format you prefer to work with: XML, TOML, YAML, PLOS, JSON, and so on. I don't really care that much. JSON's nice in that everyone supports it. It's not nice in that it's shit. But like whatever. I don't really care that much. I try not to like worry about it. But yeah, I reach for JSON often, I think. Because I mean, like, writing this is annoying. I'll say it. I'll say it. Okay. So if we are in method state, we go back to interface on exit, probably. You know, there's probably some better way to do this where, like, we should keep track of where we came from in some more generic way, but this is, like, fine for now. This is fine for now. So when we enter interface state, we are looking for the name of the interface, right? So interface, we're looking for the name property, which is confusing because we also have a name thing on this thing. But when we enter this thing, we are saying self current interface is, I guess it's like item attributes iterator. It would be nice, to be honest, if this had like attribute by name. That would kind of be nice. Who takes in a name or by key, I guess. attribute by key, who is going to return like maybe another string, and he's going to be like, give me one of these like attribute iterators, and like while like we're gonna iterate over all these things, adder we'll call it. We're gonna do like a little equal on this thing of atter key with key or whatever. We return atter val here. I guess this thing could fail or something. I don't know why this is unhappy. And we return null down here if we don't find it. And then we can call attribute by key with name or else crash. And then I guess when we exit the interface state, we should like clear that shit. Like this. No interface named. We'll just do it like this. Try. Okay. Then when we enter a method, we probably want to do the same thing, right? We want to set the current method to, is it by name as well? Yes. Yes, it is. So when we exit method, it's like self current method is also equal to nothing. And then we're probably kind of chill here to kind of every once in a while, can we just print here when we enter method, I guess? Let's just say std debug print looking at this dot this with current interface and current method. Let's just see if this feels okay. Dbus parser is a dbus schema parser who needs some default values here. And then we can just go like, well, parser next item, dbus parser, step, item as well. Easy. He's mad because we fucked up our parser. Can we just undo our, well, we added that like doc type thing. Let's just undo that. Oopsies. Okay. Oh, this is actually mad at generate. Oops. My bad. Alright, nothing to do if we see anything else in these boys. My bad. Okay. Expected void found no interface name. Yeah, this is also just wrong, right? No method name. This thing can return a failure. Okay. 123 is mad. Whoa, not 123. Oh, it was in the 123 here. This thing needs to be able to fail on attribute cut by key, which means that these guys need to write attribute by key here and here. Something like this. Something like this. Okay. Bad news, bears? It's getting a little fucked up somewhere. We've managed to really fuck this shit up. What the fuck? It looked like it was working okay for a bit. And then falling the fuck over. So current method is trying to get attribute by key on name. Well, I guess we don't know which. Let's look again. Okay. What the fuck? Oh, I see. This is the first part. This is the second part. So the method name is okay, but the interface name is fucked. Is it because there's like escaped quotes? So the first thing that's falling over was what? Get session. Hmm. Uh, hold on. So it's really after properties. We have properties set here, and then we come into this next interface, and probably something in there's probably an escaped quote somewhere, and we just like don't know how to handle that. That'd be my guess. No. So wait, okay, what does he think is happening here? He is saying, I think my interface name is direction out method. Like, what the fuck are we doing? Right, so he thinks that this is something of interest. It could be that the self-closing doesn't work if there's no space at the end, although it's kind of working up here, right? We could, okay, let's just do this for a second. Just delete all of these properties just to bisect. Right? And let's just see if it feels the same. Okay, so that fixes it, right? So we know it's like something in here. Let's delete all but one property. Let's see if it's just like all of the properties are fucking us up a little bit. No, right? So it's a specific property. One of these specific properties. I guess we just start bisecting, right? So we just like delete like half of them. Looking at oh wait, hold on. That's broken. Let's delete some more. That one's okay. Okay, so it was like something in here. Oh. Hold on. Oh no, it's just I don't know, let's just delete some more. Those ones that we just deleted were fine. Or sorry. After that, it was fine. Okay, broken. Let's just delete these. Fine. So... Oh, actually, get session here is okay. Hold on. Yeah, okay, get session broken. So it was something between here and preparing for shutdown. So if I delete all of this stuff, also okay. Interesting. So it's like some sort of like combo shit. I just don't know what it would be. Okay, delete all of this. Get session broken. He's seeing, oh, that's like a more interesting failure. ASSSUU. Whoa. Oh, I'm an idiot, actually. No, this whole thing was fine the whole time. My bad. I think. Let me check. I feel like I might be storing something that I'm not supposed to. Is there some sort of like string invalidation here that I've missed? Yes, because we're storing these things in current method. This thing needs an allocator. Because we're not allowed to store this stuff. Because we're storing a reference to a thing that will get invalidated on the next call. My bad. I see, I see, I see. And for the record, root alloc allocator. What was I gonna say? For the record, I think that we wouldn't have come to that conclusion very easily if we tried to use an LLM to bisect for us. Right? I was kind of like observing behavior, right? Building some intuition myself, which I think is fine. Okay, so when we duplicate these things, I guess. Can we? That's fine. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Whoa, why is he mad? Try here, maybe? Yeah. Okay. Oh, he's still mad. Expected semicolon after statement. Am I high? Oh. Oh, did I get brackets in the wrong spot? Yeah. There we go. Better. There's no, something's missing. I lost this bracket. That's why. I lost a bracket. Okay, there we go. Much better. Much better. So here we see we're looking at all of these interfaces. Oh, or sorry, all of these interfaces and function names. So now we can kind of special case the get user one for now, right? So if we see get user, can we like put those in some output somewhere? Let's call this like interface maybe. Yeah, sure. So we have this like interface name, and then we're gonna have like methods in here, right? And this guy is going to have some sort of things about him. We don't really know what yet. But let's start by kind of like exporting this stuff, right? Current method. So I guess this is now going to be, current method is going to be more like a method, right? Yeah. And then this guy's going to be like, my current method is like this. And I think current interface, I guess like over time, we're kind of be building these up. So I think we kind of have like interface builder. Maybe we just allow these to be runtime changeable. That's easier. So here we're gonna have like a bunch of methods. Yes. Yeah, easy. Who is empty by default. And so we kind of do this. And so this is interface like this. Yeah. And then we have output, I guess, is a runtime segmented list of interface. That seems reasonable. That seems reasonable-ish. So here we need to initialize this with init of some form. It's like this. Maybe like there's gonna be like 1,000 things tops or something, but like probably under 100. Probably. We'll come back to those guesses. Fix me. Sane guesses, please smile. Okay. So when I find an interface now, it's more like this. Init here with the name. And this is going to return an interface. This is available. He's going to take an allocator. And he is going to do this. He's going to be like, I have methods in here that use this allocator, and maybe how many methods do I think I might have? 100? How many do I think is insane? 10,000? Fix me. Update guesses. And then our name is a duplication of the name. Okay, so now when we make our interface, we're like current interface is, you know, try init with the name? No. We lost it. Init with Alec and the name. Boom. Something like this. Yep. And then when we exit interface, we need to save that thing, right? So we go like self output is equal to no, append the current interface, and then self current interface we default initialize it. Cool. That seems reasonable. Now we need to do something similar with method. Eventually this guy's going to have like arguments that he's working with, so we'll kind of give him the same treatment for now. Where we do try init here with Alec and this stuff. Yep. And then on method exit, we have to on exit we have to append that method to the current interface. So when we leave method, it's like self current interface methods append. I guess technically that's fine. There's probably a better way to do this, but like whatever. This thing can't fail yet. Is your comp available by the way? No, I don't post it. I do not post it. There's a debug thing. Because I don't think it's like really that important. I think that like people should like figure it out, you know? I think it's like kind of fun to, or like I think it's like a, you know, you should like, I don't really want people just like copy pasting mine is really most of it. Okay. So what I want to see now is that like at the end, when we've kind of run out through this whole thing, we should see a list of all the interfaces and methods, I guess. So for dbus parser, I guess it's like var interface iter is dbus parser output iter. While we iterate this thing, we should be able to look at the interface methods iter. Okay. While method iterator next, we have a method, and we can just like duplicate here. Method is this. Okay. Cool. Okay. So this looks like it's kind of working. And now we can start slapping arguments into this thing. So for each method, we're going to see an argument. And I think these arguments are all single line. Yeah, they just have type and name, right? So for each method, we should be like, If we see an element start arg, we should look for like current method args append, and we're like appending this thing based off of two things, right? It's like type is item attribute by key type, and name, I think it's just this, right? Arg name. Oh, we have direction as well, right? Arg name direction type. Name direction type. Yep. And can we parse these a little bit? I guess maybe I kind of want like args as method arg or something. Yeah, I want like args here as a bunch of method args. And then I want like return as like ret maybe as like another set of these, right? So can we do this? This is like a init with whatever. Update guesses. So this thing has like a type as well as a name. That's kind of it, right? I think that's kind of it. I think that's kind of it. So we're gonna like maybe parse the direction here. And then here we're gonna like switch, or like if dir is in, we append to args. I guess we kind of have like the type and the name are kind of there no matter what. And then it's just like if it's in, we append to args. Else if it's out, we append to return. Okay, sure. Why doesn't he like this? No dir, no type, no name. Okay. So now we should be able to like make some sort of like function signature based off of this thing. Right? So it should be able to be, we should be able to be like, we have like arg iterator is method args iter, and we have like return iter as well. And I guess it's like, here we want to print out maybe something like a list of arguments, right? So it's like, for now we will use their types directly. So I think we can just do like the name colon the type with a comma for now. And then we'll figure out the rest later. And we do the same thing with the return. But this is kind of after an arrow, maybe like this. Maybe something like this. Seems kind of reasonable. I fucked something up here. Unused argument in true. Unused argument here. Yeah, I've just got a bunch of method names kicking around here. My bad. Wow, we managed to fuck that up big time because we probably forgot to dupe some shit. Probably forgot to dupe some shit. Here. Let's see here. Try self alec dupe this. Whoopies. Gotta dupe. You gotta dupe. Okay. Here we go. So we see in here, we have get user takes in a UID U, returns UID U. That's bad. Ret. Get user takes in a UID U, returns an object path O. Perfect. You didn't do this pattern of generating sig from XML pattern and Whale and OpenGL. Yeah, I did do something like that before. This is not unheard of. But what we're generating is different, so it's like, and what we're parsing is different, so I don't really mind just like doing it again, it's fine. Okay. So now we have to get a little bit more intelligent, right? So what do we want to generate? We want to generate some sort of like interface that looks like, I actually don't know. Okay. So this guy he has the interface name like this, org free desktop login one manager, right? So I guess it's like we generate org free desktop login one manager, right? He's going to have probably a dbus connection inside him from like the dbus module, right? Something like this. And we're going to have some sort of function that's like get user, right? Like this. And he's not going to return shit because he can't, because he needs to make like a network query. Holy shit, that emoji is so tilting. Stop moving, bro. Whoa. That guy's going crazy. He's going crazy. So it's probably like something like this, right? So this is gonna be like, we're gonna take in a org free desktop login manager, and we're going to take in our argument, right? So this is gonna be like this, and we're gonna call like self connection call. What does this look like again? This is gonna look kind of like this. I feel like we're missing some information here, right? Like, yeah, we know externally, I guess like the interface doesn't necessarily define, uh, it doesn't necessarily define, what did I fucking copy? Hold on. The interface does not necessarily define the path that this thing is going to be at, right? The interface is known here. So I probably have like this. Login one manager. This is like information we have for sure. But we, the generator of this API, don't know where this lives, like which object we're talking to or what path on that object we're talking to, right? It's like there's this guy, org free desktop login one. This guy has a sub object of this. What is this? Man, so Q dbus. He's like, I have a service name, path on that service name, and the method on that service. So it's like org free desktop login one. No? Did I spell it wrong? Login. Is it just login like this? Hello? Q. Oh, sorry, system. So I have this thing. And here are all of the paths for specific objects on this service name. So this is like one program, I guess. So one program has all of these guys that you can talk to, and so we know this guy. And then this guy has many interfaces that we can talk to, right? So we're kind of doing like program object service. Program object service. So we know what these like interface or that we're working with is, right? This guy, but we don't know the service or the like object path. We don't know either of these things, right? So these things have to come in when we create this thing, and then we might make the connection on the fly, because I feel like each connection can be like hard closed, but for now, let's kind of take this in like this. Maybe is the nicer thing to do. We can fix that later. So that means he's gonna have service here and object path here. Okay. And then we kind of like return this like this. Service is like this, and object path is like this. And then we generate this call function. He's going to take in, you know, object path, service here, and then this is our interface. This is the method name, so here we know it's get user here, right? This is like based off of this thing. Argument is user here, so we know what to pass in. This is going to get generated. But then this is different. So I think that we need some sort of like on user retrieved here is like almost its own type. I haven't quite figured this out yet. Not quite. Thinking? Found your VODs randomly on YouTube. It's cool seeing someone actually work a Zig. Pretty fun. I like it. I'm a fan. So this thing needs to basically wrap the generic dbus connection callback, which gets a bucket of bytes and a signature, and turn it into something that like I would want to use from here, right? So it's kind of like I pass in, is this like an any type? This thing needs to turn into some sort of pointer and vtable. That will, I wonder if we want like parse get user response. And he returns get user response, right? Maybe it's like this. Because we have that information here. And so we have like parse here that takes in the signature and the bytes or the body. And we actually have this already. So we have like, as long as our elements here are correct, then we'll be fine, right? So we have the like object path is like this, dbus object or whatever, something like this. Then we should just be able to call like dbus parse dbus response with like whatever this guy needs, something like this. And so we want something, I guess if we wrap what they return, their thing with this, there's something here. There's something where we could do like a generate common response handler or something that takes in like the type here, as well as our like inner callback. Right, so we pass in this like on user retrieve thing. I don't know what that does, but he wants on user retrieved is some function that wants to be called with this get user response on finish, right? So I want, maybe it's like context here and callback, as this is like a function pointer that takes in a t and a context? Right? Like something like this. And this returns like a dbus callback or something. You know what I mean? And this guy returns something that has like the context is just our context. But then we need to generate like a new function that does the parsing, right? So it's like a generic callback is like a function that takes in like whatever the actual generic callback is, right? This like on user retrieve. We're basically going to be doing something that's very similar to what we do in main here. Right? It's basically going to look just like this. Very close. So he has context here. He has these things that come in from the generic callback. He calls parse, but he's using our type here. And then he just calls. Can he call callback here? With context and val? If callback is comp time known, then this works. Otherwise, this function pointer is a problem. Because like he needs to get in here somehow, which means that we need to like wrap this context in something. We need like a pointer to this function that can make it into the like dbus connection state, which is not trivial because we would need to like allocate a new context and stuff. So if I just write comp time here, I feel like this just like kind of works for free. I think generally all of this makes more sense if this thing can error. I think that's just nicer. So let's figure out how to make that work. And then we'll make it so that callback can return an error as well. I think that makes sense. Okay. So then, if this function works, which is, you know, kind of who fucking knows. On finish is generic callback. If this works, then here we can call generate common response handler, which takes in get user response with our context here. So it's like on get user response is a better name for this. He's gonna have like a callback is basically this, right? And he's gonna have context as an any opaque. I think it's like something like this. You know? Then this is on get user response. Maybe nullable. And this is like on response here. No, this is, he wants the type. So this is get user response as the type. Then it's context is on response context, and the callback is on response callback. And this is all if on response. We use R here. Else null. Okay. That all feels like we're kind of close. We just need this. Okay, first, can we generate this? We'll literally make this file by hand, and if it works, then we'll generate it. I think that's the play. So can we call this like a temp manager test.zig or something? Paste this in here, and we do like const dbus is equal to import. I guess it's main.zig right now, which is kind of funny. Okay, this t has to be get user response here. He's not using callback here, which is bad. Does this have to be? Yeah, what the fuck is happening here? ctext2. This is mad that dbus.dbus endianness doesn't work. We do need an allocator to make in here. This is annoying. This all works better if this thing just takes scratch, I think. If he's allowed to have some temporary space to put this stuff on. Or our context needs to have an allocator in it. Which is not trivial. I mean, if you could allocate here to make this thing, it would be a lot simpler. But I'd rather not, because then you have to like manage a bunch of this like allocator state. Which is a pain in the ass. Why is this allocating? Why does this guy need to allocate? Because these dbus values are of arbitrary size? Oh yeah, I mean this thing should be allocating as well, actually. Well, oh, it is known that these strings live in the body. Yeah, this is always referencing... okay. This is like kind of unneeded, this allocator, because we know that we're always parsing from the context of a fixed reader. And so all data that we're referencing should be alive for the duration of this call. So it's actually fine. We just need a way to make it so that it's clear. Like in the context of the dbus reader, it's not really fine. Which is annoying. We'll just say read variant from fixed buffer. Read variant. Maybe we do like a check here that the reader interface vtable is self stood io reader fixed vtable or something. You know what I mean? Then we can like just remove the allocator constraint from this entirely, which makes everything kind of simpler. But this is used somewhere else actually, where it does matter. Fuck! This is used from multiple places and in one place we actually do want it to copy out. Okay, so we'll say, we'll do this. Can we do that? Use an optional allocator and duplicate if they provide it? Ew. Oh. So we can go like if Alec is null, then we do this, and then we do like a dupe if Alec, something like this. Yeah, it's like something like this. Yeah. Yeah. So this is like try if Alec const a is Alec or else return just the value without duping. Otherwise, we do like return try a dupe t val. Yeah. So then here we can go like dupe if Alec here, like this. Nice. Okay. This is feeling okay. Okay, and then I guess that's fine. Okay, and then I guess here's what we'll do. This will be const. Okay, that's feeling pretty close to being right. So now it's just that we in our version our bullshit in our test, what is it? Temp manager test. This guy doesn't need an allocator anymore. He can just pass in null to this thing. So this guy doesn't take an allocator anymore. And where we use it, we pass in null. Because we know, in this case, to not pass allocator. Okay, we fucking got there. So now, our temp manager test, when he calls parse body, doesn't need an allocator here, which means that this goes away. And it looks like this might work. It might. It might. Okay, let's just run the code we had before again, just to make sure. Zig build. What was it? It was dbus session address here. Okay, good. So that's all still working. And so we just want to add our little guy here. So we have this like temp manager test. Are circular imports allowed in this language? We'll see. Yeah, okay. So here, instead of doing whatever the fuck we were doing, we want like our temp or like manager is temp test org this thing in it, right? This is a dbus connection. So we're wrapping this guy with our connection, right? Connection. And we are like, we know that this thing lives at this service, this path, right? That's what we know. And so we are trying to then call, instead of doing like connection call here, we're trying to do like manager call here. Or manager, what was it called? It's like get user, right? We've made this like fancy get user function here. So we're trying to go like manager get user with 1001, and on response, we're basically trying to do the same thing. Maybe our context is null, and we're trying to do like a callback here of on user retrieved. But this on user retrieved function is like way different now, because he doesn't have to do any manual parsing himself. He just gets the type that he asked for. So this is like a response is a temp test on, this is like get user response here or something. And he can just print that shit. And he's just printing response dot like object path. Feels about right. That feels about right. He's mad because dbus connection is, oh, Jesus Christ. These are tied to some like event loop type. That's annoying. That's annoying. Okay. I mean, it's like fine. I guess this could be more like connection type. Okay. That might work a little bit better. So then here, when we make this thing, this is with type of connection. Okay. Then this has to return self, which means that we need self is this in here. Okay, which means that like this needs to be self. Okay. This is fucking annoying now because now this type is generic, which means that these types are not easily accessible. Ew. Ew, this is just kind of fucking nasty all around. So this makes it feel kind of like this should be more like this maybe, where this is like a constant here that is still a struct. And then in this thing, we have like interface here that takes in connection type like this. Yeah, like something like this. I don't know why everything is fucked. There we go. Okay. So then we can kind of pull out the types for, you know, other people to use here. Easy. Okay. And then here we should even have like pub function interface like this probably that returns an interface of connection type. Yeah. Comp time, connection type here. Or I guess this is more just like connection like this, actually. Connection isn't any type. This returns a type of connection. Oh, easy. Easy. Yeah. And then this guy gets like... Oh, yeah. Okay, we're getting somewhere. He like returns this thing. Okay, yeah, let's get somewhere. That's not that bad. We'll call this interface name to avoid the name collision. Yeah, that's not that bad. That's not that bad. So in main now, we call this with like interface here. It's like interface, boom. Yup. And then do these types all line up? I think so. Does it build? Not marked pub? Okay, we're close. Invalid type formatter because we have to write inner here. Okay, this guy's mad because what? Expected 6 arguments, found 1? Oh. Sure. Callback. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck. Hold on. Where do these callbacks? Completion handler, we call it. It's called a completion handler. Okay, we're close. Callback here is mad because this is not comp time here, but it will be if we write this. Okay. Okay. Wait. This is looking good. Has no number made F. Okay. This is not public. Okay, this is not public. Wait, we're getting close. Expected this, found that. Hold on. Const function, any opaque, debus endianess, constuate, void, found, oh, right, because we said we wanted this thing to be able to support errors. We're like, that's just way simpler. So we can just fix this here, with a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of this. Maybe if this fails, we should catch and log error in the main loop. Not sure. Stood log error, failed to call handler with this fucking reason. Okay, okay. Wait, it builds! Is that to do on the righteous one? Oh, yeah. Oh, and it fucking worked, baby! We fucking got our response. Okay, so we have like an interface that isn't that crazy, right? I think this is like mostly okay. We have like our interface thing here. We have a like thing that adapts it into something that we can use. All of the like comp time bullshit is working. So all we have to do now is generate this file based off the XML. Which should not be that hard. Should not. So let's start right now by saying like we'll only work on get user for now. So if if the interface name is not org free, oh fuck. This. We just continue. And then if the method name here is not get user, continue. And now we can start trying to like figure out how to print this thing. So we need some sort of like output writer. Outf is stood fs current directory open file output path like this. This is probably more like a create file because we're writing stuff out there. We have output path here as the second argument, and we have some sort of writer. Okay. Hi. And so I guess here we're gonna start by writing out the header, right? So you have like f writer interface, write all, anything that is kind of like generic at the top. So we have, I guess we want to split this way. Basically this. I guess that's it. This will have to be fixed. Better path, but this will do for now. Then for this guy, we need to write out his interface name, right? So it's like f writer print, interface print. And we're looking for something that's like of the form pub const, some formatted string, probably. Is equal to struct, like this. And I think that's it, right? I think. Then we are going to be like, this thing is a, what is it, camel case? Which one's camel case but with like the first letter high? Pascal case. So we're gonna look at interface name here. Something like this. I guess we should call this like, we should be more specific. Interface type name, like this. Takes in a name and returns an interface type name formatter, I think. Something like that? Something like that. And then this like interface type name formatter takes in some for like pub function format. Who takes a writer. And I guess it's like he takes the first character of each segment, writes it as a uppercase. He looks for like dots, right? He's looking for like, okay, he's got his like name here. And he's going like stood mem split scalar. So he's like, you know, take this thing at self name and split it up on dots. And for each segment here, I'm gonna like have some sort of like segment here, and I'm gonna do writer write byte of segment 0 to upper. Stood ASCII to upper on this character. And then I'm going to write out the rest of the segment. Right, like this. And I think that's kind of it. Okay. Interface type name like this. Okay. Let's start by just running generate. And can we write this to like temp2 zig? No value named format. Did I fuck this thing up? How did I manage to fuck this up? In 192. Oh. I forgot I'm supposed to do this. Probably where that comes from. And then this thing needs, this formatter needs to return there. Okay. Temp2. Nothing. Because we have to flush the writer at the end. Of course. You never forget to flush. Writer, interface, flush. You have to flush. You have to. All right, we've got a new line for surezies. Somehow? Wait, how is that possible? Do I need another? No? What the fuck? How come this isn't new lining? Do I have to write the new line manually? What is happening? Oh, the new line's here. I'm a dumbass. I'm a dumbass. Cool. Cool. That makes sense. So now we have the name of this thing, and he's got his nice little type here. And so now I guess for each method, we have some stuff to generate, right? So it's like, okay, so I guess let's go over each method that we're generating first and generate the response types and the callback types, right? So that should be pretty easy. It's like, for each method, we're gonna iterate these methods twice, but we'll just do the first time for now. So we have this guy, we're iterating him. We're saying, we're gonna output one thing that's like interface print, and this is pub const this thing response is a structure, right? Who has each of his fields in here, right? So we'll figure that out in a second. And then he is going to have a function parse who takes in unconditionally a signature and a body. Okay. No, this isn't used. This isn't used. We don't need this. It's like this. It's like this. What in the meta programming? Yeah. It's actually worse. It's like code generation. So we're getting kind of crazy with it. Okay. So this guy is like get user, right? So we're kind of doing. Okay. What does it look like in our XML here? Get user. It's already Pascal case. So we don't have to do anything special here. We can just use method name here because the dbus naming scheme will already make it look right for us. Okay. Then we're gonna like iterate over this thing. I guess we'll just cut paste the return part. And for each of these guys, I'm just gonna delete everything else we're doing here. Fuck this shit. We are going to do like fwriter interface print. Don't know what yet. But surely we're printing something. Surely. So this is gonna have like arg name Shirley here. What does that look like in the XML? It's already the right fucking casing here too. Fuck yes, dude. So here we're just like, this thing is of this type, right? So I think we're gonna be doing something that looks like this. We're gonna be doing like, take the argument name, and then could you, I guess here, that's fine. We want like, to dbus type using arg type here. Or dbus type formatter, maybe? No, like dbus to zig type here. That's what we're looking for. This is a generated zig module from the XML, right? Builds this kind of slaps. This is written by hand, but we're trying to make this auto-generate, which is, yeah, pretty sick. I will say, I don't know if this is like dbus to, what was it? Dbus to zig type? I don't know if this is a very, like, you could do this in C. So I don't know if it's like a huge like zig win, but I do think that like the lack of ability to do this in the language actually is, right? Like, it's so tempting to do some sort of like bullshit macro thing, and Zig just being like, fuck it, embrace codegen is like kind of sick. C devs, why compile time metaprogram when you can codegen? C++ devs, why codegen when you can metaprogram Sphero? Porque no los dos? Yeah, I guess it is a little bit of both, huh? It is a little bit of both. Dbus to Zig type formatter. Okay. And then what does this look like? What does this look like? It's got some sort of format function. But I don't know what it does. Dbus to Zig type. So I guess here. Oh, this is fucked. Each of these arguments has its own. Each argument. Oh, fuck. Sorry, I'm just thinking. You need to actually like parse the format type. And you need to like export, you need like an iterator that comes out that spits out each component of the type, right? So like, you know, if you have a type that's like struct of you know, uint followed by I64 followed by string. And in here, or string is something else. But like then you have like, you know, a struct in here in that struct that has other things, right? You need to like basically have something that walks over this type definition and iterates outputs the fields that this thing will have. And then we, when we are generating our type out of this thing, need to like write out that specific part. But the fact that these have names kind of indicates to me that these types shouldn't be too complex here. Let's take a look. Like it might be that on these like arg type, are these always single letter? No. Here it's like an array of stuff. But for the most part, they're pretty simple, right? There's special case on array. But other than that, I mean, yeah, arrays are kind of crazy. Okay. But there's no like nested structs in here, which is kind of good. I guess for now, what we can do is we can just only support types that don't return arrays. Is just another option as well, and we can just like come back to that. So let's yeah, let's just say I would like to not like prevent everything else from compiling here. So crashing is wrong. We actually need to validate the type up front, I think. So it's like when we are here, it's like before we do anything here on this function, in this method, we should be like if is method supported. Continue. And then what we'll do is we'll actually take this get user thing and put that in another function here. And for now, we kind of have like here, but we can also start validating like the args here, right? So we can say like if, you know, var ret it is method ret iter for like while ret it next, we'll do some like arg. We'll say like if arg type len is greater than 1, return false, and with a warning, right? Unhandled type for method this. Nice. And here we can also put the type string here, right? Okay, cool. Sorry, this is arg type here. Okay. Cool. Cool, 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 cool. Where's log write to? Standard error somewhere. It'll go somewhere. Who fucking knows? Okay, so now this like dbus to zig type can be really straightforward, right? We've like, this is now a single character. And so this is all just like, right, we can just switch on the type now. Unreachable. We'll just scratch here. Fuck it. Fuck it. Okay. So now we have this guy to this type, and then we need to close the structure after all this. Sure. Something like that. Uh, sure. I guess maybe what we do is we pass in the whole type here, and then assert here that type len is equal to 0 or 1, and then use type 0 here. I think that's reasonable. That feels kind of right. I don't know why he doesn't like this, because I'm not returning probably. And then this isn't a string. Like, I'm a fucking dumbass. Okay. I probably have, like, this should be a string here as well. Okay. Reached unreachable at 155. Here. So you saw something that wasn't a U. Also, my fucking screen is fucked. That's confusing. Oh, because the return type are objects. My bad. My bad. Okay. Cool. So this is looking a little better. Let's get some tabs in here. Boom, boom. Maybe get a semicolon here. Maybe an extra new line somewhere as well. We also need to close our overall structure later, right? There we go. Sure. There is the first piece of this thing. We got our little org fruity death. Let's go to do another new line here actually as well. At the first line. Okay, there we go. That looks pretty good. So we have get user response. Now we also need on get user response is the other thing, right? So we have this like on get user response is a structure with what? What did we say here? It is literally just a context and a callback, right? So it's just this is always like this. Callback is always probably something along these lines. Let's see. Context, any opaque is fine. And then this is a just the same string again, right? Like this? I think. Okay. Seems reasonable. And so this is just method name twice. Which I think there's a way to like specify the format, like which tuple element it is. Numeric index. E.g. score, or the numeric can be 2 dot dot. Yeah, so here we just write like 0s here, I think, on both. I think it's like that. Okay, that's not bad. On get user response, we have get user response. Great. Great. Oh my god. Every time I run this thing, it fucks up. Fucks up the Vim thing. So I guess I should run that in another terminal. I guess. Okay. So what was the next piece here? Now we have our pub function interface. Which returned what? Interface, type of connection. Something like this. Let's just kind of yoinkies everything in here. And then yoinkies everything in here. Okay, wonderful. So this is now nothing in here is special, I don't think. Um, then is it just defining the interface, which also is fine. None of this stuff is a problem yet. All of this stuff can just keep coming in here. Right? I think. Wait, where did the fucking... I lost something. Oh, its method name ended up in there. My bad. This is like this. There we go. Okay. Okay, so then we start iterating methods again. Wait, this is per method, no? Yeah, I think this is supposed to go outside this iterator. My bad. So this is like, this closes some iterator. And then this is some like, write all here or something. I don't know. We're figuring it out. We're getting somewhere. Something like that. So we iterate over all of our methods. Are we? Then we write out the interface stuff. Okay, which all of this can come back to indent level, I think, now. What is this for? This is for this? What is this for? I feel like I'm an indent level off somewhere. I can't really... like, something is not lining up where it's supposed to. What the fuck? Yeah, wait, this is linking to main. Ah, here we go, found it. Okay, there we go. Does this compile? Oopsies. Okay, so this is starting to look like something. So now we're iterating over methods again. That's what's happening here. Hello? There we go. Iterate over methods again. And for each method, we are now generating a function? Don't know what yet. Don't know what yet. What are you working on? We're making a dbus API generator. We're trying to make something that automatically makes nice functions for something that exposes a service over dbus, based off of the XML definition of that thing and our like dbus implementation. So each of these guys is making some function that takes the method name and just kind of uses that thing as is. Right. This is going to be a, like, method to camel case here. Something like this. Okay, and then we are going to iterate over all of the arguments of that thing. Wait, is this mad? What's this pissed about? Seems fine. Maybe we'll write method to camel now. I guess this is more like Pascal to camel, kind of generic. I guess kind of like this. And then we have our like Pascal to camel formatter. He implements format. Easy. And he is a Pascal to cal formatter. He does a std ASCII to lower of the first letter. And does that. Something like this. And this is like if it's fine. We don't have to worry about val string length right now. And then we do try writer write all self val one onwards. Okay. Okay, sick. We need to check here if is method supported. We need to not fucking print that thing out. Okay, so now we are on this part here. We have get user coming out here. He is not indented enough. He actually wants to be indented a lot more. Nice. And then he wants a new line kind of beforehand as well. Cool. Okay, so I guess this thing is going to start with a self argument, which is a, I think just self like this. It's like we're kind of chilling there. Then we're going to iterate over all the args. We have some arg, right? And we are doing a probably maybe this works a little better if we kind of do it like this, right? Multi-line. And we're probably printing something like this. Don't know what yet. It's like the name of the thing to the zig type. I think something like this. Arg.type of like dbus to zig type here is the second argument. And I guess that means that the first argument is what? It's like arg name question mark. But this thing needs to be, I think it's already in the right format. I think it's like something like this. LG, thank you for the tier 1. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Okay, that's looking kind of close. So then we do some form of like close the bracket, I guess. Is that it? I guess we have to like do some sort of like implementation of this thing. But we do need to like write the return type here as well, which I think is just void like this. What do we write over here in our test? Yeah, he returns void. Oh, we forgot the on response thing. So here he needs to be like, I want to return, you know, on response is some, you know, some formatted thing, which is method name response. Okay. We'll figure it out. Something like this, right? Then what do we do? He just calls this, right? Easy. Nothing in here is special except for this. So this is method name here, and this is also method name here. But here we're gonna have to inject all our arguments, right? So this is gonna get kind of fucked up. So it's kind of like, I don't know yet. No. Okay, I don't know yet. Does this compile yet? Expected comma after statement. So true. All right. I don't really have any fucking clue what this is outputting yet. So here we have this thing where we have get user, self, UID, on response. And then here we just need to inject all of the arguments here as well and then close it. So we need to like do this arg loop again, kind of between this stuff. And here is just like probably a lot, even more indentation, and it's just the name. No type. More indents. All right. Then we just need to close that shit here. That's close. That is pretty fucking close. We just need to finish the fucking function now, right? Which I think is just like this. Self connection call, object path, service, interface name, get user. I think we're off by one on this. And then we fucking forgot the generate common response handler, and we need to close the interface thing. So this is in this loop here. This is like we need to one more. Does that look right? Interface here. This gets closed. Okay, struct return here, function here, then like the interface here. Shockingly, yes. You can hit zig format at the end of gen. No, yeah, but I don't want. I like it when the thing that I'm making is like correct-ish. You know, we could, but I think it's like I should format it. I can just do it myself. Because I don't want to just run a second binary. You know, it's just like pain in the ass. Pain in the ass. D's bus. Thank you, LG, for that wonderful contribution. Okay. Anytime, yeah. I guess the question is this right? So I guess we just like do main here. And can we look at temp2.zig instead of whatever? He's mad because this guy needed a semicolon. So that was one fix. Two fix. Two semicolons missing. And then generate common response handler. Okay. Okay, so it was... It was here, semicolon. Here, semicolon. And then we're just missing that one function, right? So temp manager test this guy. And I think that this is just like, there's nothing specific about this. We can just like fucking rip this shit at the top of the file without any real consequence, I think. I don't see why not. Ah, fuck. Hold on. We need to go back to the old version. And then run it. Okay, and then switch this to temp2 again. Run it and compile again. He's mad because get user Get user response. Oh, fuck. Wrong type. Hold on. Wrong fucking type. Somewhere we put the wrong type. It was callback, get user somewhere. This should be on thing response. But otherwise, I think we're kind of chill. Okay, so then go back to main, replace this with temp2, run again. Fuck. How come this worked in the test? What the fuck? Oh, because this was comp time here. That seems bad, actually. I don't know how you could have a context in here. This is wrong. What we need to do is we need this callback to comp time here, maybe? Oof. This can't be this way. Because context has to be dynamic. So this has to actually come in and like, ew. Whatever, we'll just write comp time here for now. I don't think that that's really quite right, but whatever. It's working for us for now, and we will find a problem with it later. I think, in reality, we need to split the arguments here on the get user thing. The response function callback needs to be comp time, or we need to like remove that restriction here. With the callback needs to be a comp time function pointer, but the context itself does not need to be. You know what I mean? So like we just have to do it. Let's just do that now. We need to fix it. That'll be fucking annoying. So this needs to be like... we just don't generate that like response type. So this guy gets context and callback wherever the fuck here. On response context, comp time, on response callback. And then that means that this type is fully gone. And we pass in on response callback C on response context and C here or something. I think that does it. We still have the on response in there, which is a problem. That's looking better. Yeah, that's close. I meant more about like the missing comments and shit. Oh yeah, makes sense. That makes sense. So this is now like this. What? Oh, here. Okay, I mean, that's not ideal, but it's not the end of the world. It would be nicer if it didn't have to be like this, but I don't know how to avoid it otherwise. Okay, so... can we run main here? And it still fucking works, baby! And it still fucking works. So we should be able to now just start, like, unlocking, we should be able to unlock the rest of it now. Like, I think if we just take out that filter for get user, I think... can we just run this for a second? He's gonna hit a bunch of unreachables. So, probably we need to check this. Hold on. It's... Here we need to... do stood log error unhandled type this. which is fine. We can manage. And we'll just hit these guys. So it's like S is dbus string, I believe. H is, we should just check, right? We should just check dbus marsh spec, something like this. Types. There we go. No H here is a file descriptor. Okay, we just won't support that one. I guess we should do this on is arg type supported? Is arg here? Arg method arg bool. If is arg supported, arg return false. I'm gonna do this for the args as well. Okay. Okay, we'll do it like this. Boom. Boom. And these guys have to be dereferenced. And we have to say if arg type 0 is H, we will warn here as well. Do not yet support passing FDs. Unsupported. Okay. Okay. He's also B. What is B? Boolean. Okay. Then he's got I for int32. Type T is U64. Okay. Okay, so this generated something sane here, hopefully. Fuck. Okay, so we need to do some like we need to do some like name dodging. So suspend is apparently reserved. Type is reserved. Okay, but that's only a couple. So we have otherwise we're kind of chill. And so can we like can we just call some other thing and just see what happens? I would love to call like can sleep and see, you know, if it works. On can sleep. You know, let's just see. Let's try that. Why the F didn't use simple type names? Like, is send a letter space saving some? Yeah, I don't know. I think it's reasonable to like use less bytes. I'm kind of down for that, to be honest. I'm kind of down because I'd rather like because you don't want people like finding excuses not to use your protocol, right? So I think it's like not that crazy. Can sleep response here? Okay. Can sleep response. What do we have in here? Result. Okay. Oh, can sleep. Okay. This is mad now for some fucking reason. Whoa. Expected type this, found type that. So can sleep response? Oh, was get user response fucking hard coded in there like a fucking dumb fuck? Yeah, it is. That's funny. Oopies. All right. Generate.zig. He needs to somewhere. This guy needs to be method name response. Oopies. Can we do this? Oh, right. So we need to fix that again. Suspend and type here was not one. Okay. Oopsies. Fuck. Okay. Zig build, zig out bin, debus, and there was debus session address like this. Can sleep? Yes. Let's fucking go, baby. Okay, so we're like a lot closer. There's a few things that we don't support still, right? So he's mad about lack of unhandled types for a few of these guys. We can't pass file descriptors yet. We don't handle arrays. And we have a couple keyword conflicts. But overall, it's looking pretty good, right? Like, here we have a thing here where... This is a little concerning. I don't know why so many of these are empty, but... Oh, maybe they just don't have returns. Sure. If we call halt, he doesn't have to return shit. Sure. So maybe we should, like, check that as well? But now this is, like, a lot nicer, right? We can at least call... some function we can check if we can sleep. We can call get user. It's looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. I really have to pee, and it is 4:30, so I think we call it there. But we're really close. Really close. So, seems like we should be in a good state. Maybe we'll do like a happy hour cleanup of those last couple things. And then try to do mainstream tomorrow of hooking up to login D in the window manager for real. I think we're almost there. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. If you like what you saw, we stream most days 12:30 to 4 o'clock Pacific time. It is 4:30 now, so anywhere between 4 hours ago and half an hour ago is when you should expect to see us live if you're watching live. There's a YouTube link in the Twitch description where you can follow along with our projects. We kind of split, like, we put half the stuff on the YouTube approximately, maybe a little over half. Because we do more than is reasonable to post on YouTube per day. And also some of it is like hard to title, etc., etc. So what we're doing today in happy hour, we were looking at how does a normal Wayland window manager choose which GPU to use, and how does a Wayland client get that information from the window manager? Because soon we are going to try to remove like hard-coded DRI handles, and we need to know what to do in that case. So stuff like that, we're doing like investigation, reading, that type of shit, might go in the happy hour VODs, which get uploaded to Patreon, YouTube members, or Twitch VODs. If you like support in the appropriate place, you get access to the VODs, or you can catch that segment live at 12:30. That's it. Thanks for watching. YouTube, peace out, and Twitch, let's find someone to raid.